Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate the support as always. So today we are playing another deck which was suggested by a viewer of the channel, so thank you very much to them. And it is Gruul Storm. So this is a deck that tries to play a lot of spells in one turn, eventually building up to casting a Stormscale Scion, which is one of the mythic dragons from Tarkir, 4/4 flying with Storm, and Storm is basically an ability where when you cast the spell, you copy it for each spell cast before it this turn, the Storm count being the kind of common name for how many spells you've cast. It also says other dragons you control get +1/+1. So, you know, if this is the third spell we've cast in the turn, we'll get 3 dragons. If it's the fourth spell, we'll get 4, etc. And obviously the more dragons we create, the bigger each of those dragons is. So if the opponent isn't able to answer them straight away, then this will very quickly win the game, usually. And the way we kind of up our storm count is by playing a lot of cheap spells, but also plot cards. So plot, if you remember, is a mechanic that lets you pay a certain amount and exile the card, and then you can cast the spell later in a later turn without paying its mana cost. But it still counts as casting a spell. So we've got Highway Robbery, which kind of refills our hand. Outcast and Trailblazer, which you may recognise from some of the mono-green decks, which not only adds some more mana when it enters, but also draws us a card whenever another creature we control with power 4 or greater enters. So put some card draw on top of the Scions as well, just in case we need to keep going after we've done all of that. So yeah, plot a load of cards, cast them, build up to a big turn. Ironcrag Feat allows us to essentially do that early by, once we've cast that, not only does it count as casting a spell, but also the 7 mana we need is sufficient to cast the Scion, and also if we have a Bitter Reunion in play, we could use that 1 leftover mana to give all of our creatures haste, and as I say, that will very quickly just win the game by itself. So we got some Elvish Mystics and Llanowar Elves just to help us increase the mana count that we've got. Torch the Tower, Mox Jasper. So Mox Jasper is an additional way of generating some mana once we have dragons on the battlefield, but also just a 0 mana spell for increasing our storm count. Gives us something to discard in the early game as well if it's not looking like it's going to be useful. So yeah, just a couple of copies of the Jasper. Nice to see that seeing some play. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, token generation. Yeah, just a good mid-range card in the mid game, while we can kind of give us some value while we're building up to doing our thing. Red-green dual lands, not a surprise, plenty of those. A couple of Lair of the Hydra, just to give us some additional creatures if we need them. A couple of basic lands and a Passaggio as well in the sideboard. So we got Red Cap Melee for dealing with those mono red tricky matchups for a deck like this, where you're essentially just trying to stall for a few turns. Rending Volley, blue and white creatures similarly, so a lot of and kind of colour hate. Ghost Vacuum, Soul Guide Lantern, Clothis are all graveyard hate of some description. Clothis obviously a bit of life gain as well, and potentially a creature later on. Atraxa's Fall, versatile removal spell for any artifact creature with flying, enchantment, or battle, and then Scrap Shooter as more artifacts and enchantment removal, as well as just being a decent 4/4 for 3 with reach, which sometimes we will just want by itself. So yeah, that is the deck. I'm interested in this one. So yeah, thank you again to the person who suggested this. I'm looking forward to trying it out. It's certainly going to be splashy if we can make the thing happen. Whether it'll kind of be consistently good enough to kind of compete, we shall see. But yeah, here's the deck, and let's take it onto the ladder. So I think we'll have to be quite selective with our opening hands in a deck like this. Yeah, something like this is okay. But yeah, you can see once we've cast the elf, what are we doing with ourselves after that? But I think, given the opponent's mulliganing to 6, I think this is probably not an awful keep, and hopefully the Highway Robbery can just help us sculpt our hand a little better. Ooh, a Mishra's Foundry. That's rare enough these days. Glimpse the Core. So this is a mono-green ramp deck, I would assume. Okay, so that's quite good. So yeah, let's plot a highway robbery, play another elf, and then we are potentially just 2 turns away from storming. Potentially 3 dragons into play, which would be pretty reasonable, I think. See, the opponent is building up for a big turn. Okay, so I think we've got a choice now of either fabling... Oh no, we can do both. That's fine, because we can plot another one of these. We can play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And then, yeah, we've got enough going on. Okay, Ugin is not the worst thing that they could cast here. So I think this is a... what do I have to do? Sacrifice a land. So we're going to have to discard something at some point anyway. Must I rather not lose the Trailblazer? But yeah, let's decline. Send the token after Ugin. They get the card back. Okay, let's do the thing. I think I'll sack a land initially and just see what I draw. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty good actually, because that allows us to do all of the things. So we'll highway robbery again, this time discarding a card. Then cast Elvish Mystic, follow it up with an Ironcrag Feat. And now our storm count is 4, so this will give us 5 dragons. And I believe they don't have the mana to play 8 mana Ugin, which is probably the way they win. They would kind of deal with this problem. Yeah, I mean, Ugin the Storms is pretty good, but still got 4 7/7s.
Knowledge is a virtue. If my intervention is required, bathe in ghost fire.
Okay, no, they've done pretty well to answer these, to be honest.
This world.
So I'm going to be able to kill both their planeswalkers next turn. And then kind of start building up to another big turn. So I need to send both of these after Ugin. The elves after this Ugin, so let's just do that first. Then we'll plot Outcaster. Just see what they want to do. Because they could pop the Silex. Yep. Okay, so I think I need to wait another turn, don't I, here? Because I need both my Elvish Mystic to survive, and I need this to produce another red mana. So actually, I don't need the Elvish Mystic to survive. That is one thing at least. Okay, Gloomvine Regent, sure enough. I think I've seen this deck list somewhere, actually. Yeah, I think it runs like 4 copies of all of the Ugins, which is pretty damn spicy. So yeah, do they have the big Ugin? I think is the question. I think we kind of have to work under the assumption that they don't. So we'll make some more dragons. At least draw us some cards. So yeah, I can't cast any more spells this turn because of the Iron Crag feat, but I can just plot another Trailblazer. So yeah, let's see if they've got big Ugin. They still might. That is enough if they still have it. Yep. Okay.
Accept a lesser world, and you will grow lost. All creation can be undone.
So I've got some options here, which is basically to either. So I think. So we're playing Trailblazer. Adding some green mana, and then I think we're essentially using that mana to turn this into a 1/1. Kill Big Ugin. Plot Highway Robbery. Okay, we're playing Gloomvine Regent as a creature now, that's fine. And the Filigree Silex. Okay, let's play a Fable. Now, do I want... Well, I think I will play the Robbery now. Okay, so we've got some more stuff. It's going to take a minute before we can use it, and they're going to refill their hand, I would imagine, here. With the Hedron Archive, yep. There's another big Ugin. Okay, I think we're beginning to kind of lose track of this game, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, no, they just had enough of the right answers for all of the stuff we were doing, which is fair enough. So I definitely want Atrax's Fall and Scrap Shooter in this match for dealing with their ramp spells. Is Torch the Tower any good? I didn't see any elves, but they're almost certainly running them, I would assume. I kind of need Bitter Reunion. It's unfortunate that I didn't draw any there, in terms of kind of just getting the creatures in straight away before because their planeswalkers are obviously all sorcery speed, but I just wasn't able to attack with any of my dragons. Okay, this is a bit better. So I think let's just pop back a land here. Just because we'll be... Oh, what? Okay, picked the wrong one there. I'm sure I was choosing the Copperline Gorge. Never mind. So I'll plop the Trailblazer. A Bitter Reunion. Discard. Okay. Not much to write home about yet. Yeah, kind of missing my hate pieces as well here. Okay, well there's a Stormscale Scion, so let's get Fable into play. There's big Ugin.
Mine. I will not allow my progeny to continue. My plan bears fruit.
I kind of... So, this produces 1 mana. Don't quite have enough, do I, unfortunately? Unless I draw a land off the various... to give everything haste. That could happen, actually. So, produce red. Then I need to play Stormscale Scion. That'll draw me 2 cards. Okay, land is good. Mox Jasper as well. That's a shame in some ways. So do I save that for a future turn? I think maybe I need to. So yeah, let's shock in that land, activate Bitter Reunion. So I'm currently presenting 16 damage, which is not quite enough to kill the opponent. So I think I'm just gonna kill Ugin. Do 7 to the opponent. I'm again vulnerable to an 8 mana Ugin.
The storms ever rage.
Yep, and they've got it. They always do.
Power without wisdom is the path of the fool. Return to the essence of the multiverse.
Okay, well, we'll plot a highway robbery. We'll kill Ugin.
Endings are inevitable.
Play a land. Pass the turn. I feel like this deck is very fortunate that it's come across us rather than an aggro deck. Because, like, a mono red deck would beat the crap out of what the opponent's doing here. Yeah.
Unutilized knowledge is rotting. Consider this
So yeah, I think we either draw another Stormscale or we just lose here. I mean, yeah, that's not really doing anything. So I think we just got to go for it. So we'll sack a land. Outcast Trailblazer, I mean, Scrap Shooter, I suppose. I don't really want to destroy any of their stuff because it gives them another card, but I suppose taking Hedron Archive takes away their ability to draw 2 more cards, so yeah, okay, let's play Outcaster. Add green. So yeah, it's looking pretty grim here. Again, the opponents just had the right answers at the right time.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
Yeah, okie doke. Well, that was interesting. We were quite close in both of those games to winning, but just couldn't quite get there. They had the right Ugans at the right time. Well, we'll try again. Yep, this'll do. Pretty reasonable, I think. So the opponent has a spell, which is an opt. Yeah, fair enough. So they may be on Phoenix or something like that. I think it'll be an interesting matchup for this deck. Hugely sure either way whether it'll be good or not. Okay, that's an early consider. Are they hunting for land, perhaps? 3 blue lands makes me think maybe it isn't Phoenix. Let's plotter Outcaster. Okay, it is, yeah. They're just hunting for red land. Okay, well, in which case, I mean, it's mighty tempting, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll shock in this, play the Trailblazer, add red. I can't... So I could... No, I can't, because I don't have enough red mana. I hope you followed all of that. Yeah, and we'll play Stormscale Scion. Okay, so this should pretty much be curtains for the opponent, I think. And Phoenix deck is going to struggle to answer this in one turn. Yep. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's how the deck can work. So we obviously want all of our graveyard hate. Do we need anything else? Rending Volley? Probably not. So 5 cards to cut, which I think is probably some of the elves. Torch the Tower is actually a pretty good answer to Phoenix, so I think we'll keep all of those. Then maybe just trim a Highway Robbery or something. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, this hand's not amazing, but it's got some graveyard hate, which I think is probably enough that it's a keepable hand. Okay, well, this Mystic may not survive very long, but if it eats a removal spell... No, okay, not this turn at least. If it eats a removal spell, I'm not going to complain. Okay, so the opponent has a... Picklock Prankster. So let's plot a robbery. Play a Soul Guide Lantern. Then I've always got that as a failsafe for if they mill over a Phoenix. Okay, Aether Gust is an interesting one for them to draw. Doesn't really affect my Stormscale that much. They can only stop one of them. I'm not doing very much. So what have they got in the graveyard? 2 Arce's Talent and a Corey Steel Castle. That's fine. That's not that interesting. I don't really want to do this too early. So I think I'm happy to just chill for a turn. They've got another Prankster. I think it's probably time to consider whether to just pop the Lantern before they potentially Treasure Cruise. It's not great that it doesn't hit a Phoenix, but I've got Torch the Tower for Phoenix now. So yeah, let's see what they do. Nope. Okay, so 5 cards in graveyard, so they can cast a 3-mana Treasure Cruise. Which is still great, but obviously feels in a deck like Phoenix feels very expensive. I'm still a couple of turns away from going off with my Stormscale, so nothing's going to happen quickly here, I don't think. So they've got time. Ooh, maybe they are just going to Treasure Cruise. Yeah, okay. That's kind of fine by me. Does mean I can just hold on to the Lantern for a bit longer. Okay. Yep, that's fine. So let's play a Bitter Reunion. I think I just want to discard this land, assuming that I'll draw some more. Yeah, okay, well, that's good. Yeah, 2 Torch the Towers is more than sufficient, I think. Quarry Steel Cutter is annoying. Cards they got in their graveyard now. 4. Well, let's see what they do. Well, now. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't just do this 2 damage. It's too risky. Yep, take another turn. Okay, Fable's quite a good card. So yeah, we'll get that into play. They might gust this. That's probably what I'd do if I was them. No? Okay. Maybe they're holding out to try and gust one of our Stormscale Scions. Okay, that's fine. Do I want to... Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll torch the tower in response, sacking the token. That'll give me a scry. Yeah, I'll keep a land. Also, Visage is also an answer to Corey Steelcutter, isn't it? Is that better than using it as a land? I don't know, I feel like the quicker we get to Scion, the better. Okay, I can't stop them cruising here, unfortunately, because of the way the interactions work. Yeah, this one's got away from us a little bit here. They've done well to draw cards in the order that they have. Okay, well they can keep doing that, and then I think I will just pop the Soul Guide Lantern when they move to combat. Yeah. Okay. Discarding Torch, I think, just hoping for a 6th land. Ghost Vacuum's okay. So I'll play that. Yeah, and I think next turn I'm just gonna have to Highway Robbery and hope that we can make it. And again. That gives them a decent blocker, actually, so I need a good number of... Okay, they're keeping their Aether Gusts online, which makes sense. They don't have anything in their graveyard. Oh, God. Can I wait another turn? So I'd have to survive one more turn. It's hella risky. But I think it's how we win. Yeah. Me. Don't love it. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Yeah, okay. Is that 2 Phoenixes? Okay, I'm super dead. Yeah. Cool, cool. Okay. Fair enough. No, couldn't quite get there then. Just we were just too slow. So yeah, I think I'm going to put back in Traxer and Scrap Shooter now that we know that we're up against a... take out close this, actually. It's too slow, it's Graveyard Hate. Yeah, now that we know that we're against Corey Steelcutter as well. Ditch another Robbery, maybe one Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Just do it like that. Ooh, this is not a keepable hand. Yeah, this is slightly better. It's not amazing. I think it's at least keepable. I don't know what goes back here. Probably torch the tower, I think, unfortunately. Hopefully my Mystic will survive one turn. If it does, that's probably enough. Okay, looks like it's not going to. Oh no, it is. Fine. So I'll plot the Outcaster, and then I'm kind of out of stuff to do, so it's all yours. Okay, that's pretty good. It gives me some resilience against removal. I don't love just casting 2. Okay, well that removes my options to do it next turn anyway. Yeah, just because, like, if there's 2, there's 5/5, so that means they're lightning axable. Yep, still Corey Steelcutter. Too good. Yeah, and more removal. Okay, well I need another land. Yeah, Mox Jasper is a card at least. Yeah, so 2 Steel Cutters is pretty grim, but if I am able to... Yeah, it's kind of land or bust here, I think, now, because I'm dead in a couple of turns. Probably maybe even just 1 turn if I can't do that. And sadly, this can only become a 2/2, so I can't even block effectively here. Oh god, yeah. No, I need a land or I'm going to lose. Okay, here we go. Big game. That'll do it. Okay, right. Outcast a Trailblazer. Produce red mana. Play Mox Jasper. Play Ironcrag Feet. Play Stormscale Scion. Use the remaining land to blow up one of their steel cutters. Okay, that all went pretty well on the whole. I've now got lethal, which they're going to struggle to attack through. And yeah, I mean, I might as well plot this while I'm here. Okay, that's a start. But I've still got 4 creatures on the battlefield, which are all 7 toughness. Okay, here comes Treasure Cruise. That's not nothing. Yeah, they're never completely out of it with Phoenix, because they can do turns. They can do big turns. Okay, at least it's not Phoenix that's going in the bin. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? Pick up Lightning Axe, I suppose. No, just consider. Okay, well, consider doesn't help very much. Ooh, what a super interesting couple of matches these have been. Hang on. Right. Let's think about this for a second. So, if they kill one of my Scions, these become 5/5s. These become 6/6s. That's not enough. So they'd need to somehow cast 2 spells or kill 2 of my creatures, which I don't think they can do. I mean, if they find a way to do it, then congratulations, but I don't think they can. No. Okay, Ironcrag feet off the top there. Came in clutch and let us beat 2 Steel Cutters, which were really taking over the game there. Ooh, close. Very close. 2 close matches. Yeah. That was good. Very good. We get any new packs? No, just the Final Fantasy ones, which we shall be opening before too long. It's only a few days now till that set drops. I don't pretend to understand it, but should be some interesting cards nonetheless. So yeah. The Death Begets Life. Wildly unplayable in Pioneer, but you know. So yeah, that is Gruul Storm. I mean, it's a hell of a fun deck, and yeah, as I expected, it did have a decent matchup against Phoenix there. And it struggled against that ramp deck just because we never quite had the right combination of Scion with Bitter Reunion that would allow us to close out the game before they could respond with an Ugin. So yeah, pretty poorly matched, I think, there. And again, no idea how it would do against aggro decks. My suspicion is it would struggle, but it was hella fun to play. So if you have the cards, wouldn't necessarily recommend crafting 4 Stormscale Scions if you're short on Mythics, but yeah, if you've got the cards available, then this is definitely huge fun to play. But when it goes off, feels pretty damn good. So yeah, that is Gruul Storm. So here's the deck list one more time in the description as usual. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, like and subscribe. And thank you again to the viewer who suggested this deck. Great work. This is huge fun, so well done. And yeah, I'll see you next time.